instructions, while Feng Xiu hopes to meet him at Jing Academy and treat him to a meal. Lin Moyu simply replies, "Okay," prompting Shui to mention that Lin Moyu doesn't talk much and that they've exchanged only 10 sentences so far. But Lin Moyu corrects Shui, saying it's actually been 26 sentences. Shui looks embarrassed while the two snigger. Later that day, Lin Moyu is at his home and he is looking at the photo as he tells his grandma he became the national top scorer. A knock at the door makes Lin Moyu turn around. Opening the door, Lin Moyu sees the principal and asks why he is there. Lin Moyu gets nervous as he feels the terrifying aura of someone standing next to the principal. Looking threatened, Lin Moyu quickly summons a skeleton warrior. Bai smiling praises Moyu's reaction speed. Recognizing Bai, Lin sincerely bows and greets him. Bai says he has come to talk to Lin Moyu about the matter of Xiajing Academy. Lin Moyu invites them in, pours drinks, and the principal tells Bai that Lin Moyu lives alone since his sister is at Xiajing Academy. Bai thinks it's remarkable that both siblings were able to enter Xiajing Academy. Bai analyzes the skeleton warrior's attributes, finds each at 250, and asks Lin Moyu how he achieved that. Hearing Bai mention the 4 attributes at 250, Lin Moyu realizes others can't see the talent-boosted attributes of the skeleton. Bai asks Lin Moyu what talent he awakened, and Lin Moyu claims its amplification, which boosts all skills. Bai notes he is there to discuss 2 things, the reward from Xiajing Academy and taking Lin Moyu to the academy for the trial. Lin Moyu asks about the trial, and Bai explains it's an internal trial within Xiajing Academy for their own students. Lin Moyu asks what Bai means by internal participants. Bai says he can't reveal the trial's content, but Lin Moyu will learn it later if he joins, and Lin Moyu agrees to participate. With a short laugh, Bai decides to hand over the rewards to Lin Moyu as the national topper. The first reward is 100,000 points in addition to his exam score, as within the academy, points are worth more than gold. The second reward is 1 primary scroll and 1 intermediate scroll. The third item is based on Lin Moyu's performance in the battle space, which is a qualification to enter the Divine Summoner Tower once. Lin Moyu says he understands. Bai stands up, tells Lin Moyu to tidy up, and offers to take him to Jing Academy. A while later, Lin Moyu and Bai prepare to teleport to the academy while the principal wishes Lin Moyu good luck. In less than a second, Lin Moyu and Bai materialize right outside Xiajing Academy. Bai reveals that the gate is not only an entrance but also a weapon, and anyone who tries to enter forcefully pays a huge price. Bai takes Lin Moyu to a residential area, tells him to rest there for the day, and says he will return to guide him tomorrow. A student wonders what Lin Moyu's identity might be, as Bai himself received him personally. That student smilingly asks Lin Moyu where he would like to stay. He explains that there are various accommodation options, such as 4-person, 2-person, and single-room dormitories, with significant price differences. Lin Moyu requests a single-room dormitory, and the guy advises him to consider a 4-person room instead due to the high cost. But Lin Moyu insists on a single room, and the guy thinks he'll regret it later when he runs out of points. The guy takes Lin Moyu to a single-room dormitory and asks him to provide his identity card for registration. Lin Moyu gives his card, and the student inserts it into a machine, discovering that Lin Moyu has over 100,000 points. Lin Moyu explains that he received the points as a reward, and the guy understands why Lin Moyu wanted a single room. The guy leaves Lin Moyu at his new dormitory and tells him to find him if he needs any help. Lin Moyu sits by the window and sees flashes of light outside and thinks someone must be training there. The next morning, Lin Moyu is busy meditating when someone rings the doorbell. Lin Moyu opens the door and sees it's Ningyi, the assassin girl he met a few days ago. Yi grabs his hand and pulls him outside, offering to take him to breakfast and then show him around Xiajing Academy. This is Xiajing Academy's cafeteria. Lin Moyu tries to pay for the breakfast with his points, and seeing this, Yi informs him one can use coins to pay as well. Lin Moyu claims he only has points and no coins, and Yi tells him to ask if he hasn't any and advises him not to waste points that are difficult to earn. As Lin Moyu pays with points, Yi sees his total balance on the machine. Agape, Yi's food drops from her mouth as she shrieks in bewilderment at how many points Lin Moyu has. Yi then reminds Lin Moyu never to use points where coins are accepted, even if he has plenty of points. Lin Moyu gives Yi a core of the Goblin King, and taking it, Yi exclaims it's beautiful. Yi tells Lin Moyu that the core is very valuable and can be traded for at least 1 million coins, and asks if he really wants to give it to her. Lin Moyu agrees he wants to give it to her, and looking very happy, Yi thanks him. Yi then gives Lin Moyu a tour of the academy, showing him around different places and halls. A while later, they go to the Academy Affairs office and complete all the enrollment procedures for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu notices his sister's information is missing, and he explains it might be due to a confidential mission or because she joined another college. He assures Lin Moyu not to worry, says she will get to the point, and informs him she needs to take him somewhere. Saying so, he takes Lin Moyu to a classroom and introduces him to a girl named Tao Tao as the national top scorer. Tao Tao introduces herself and shakes hands with Lin Moyu, who introduces himself in return. A long-haired guy holding a massive staff sitting near mocks Lin Moyu for being only level 17. He asks Ling Jin what he means and warns him to watch his mouth when speaking to a national top scorer. Jin claims that compared to his dragon team, Moyu is nothing, as all the previous national top scorers were all trash. Jin then tells Moyu not to think he can do whatever he wishes just because he was introduced by Lord Bai. Jin claims his hidden dragon team values strength above all and tells Moyu to keep quiet during the trial and not drag them down. Jin warns he won't be polite to Moyu otherwise, and Moyu responds by asking if Jin is nuts. Hearing this, Jin's eyes blaze with rage as he summons fire in his fist and dares Moyu to repeat himself. Tao Tao and Yi jump in between, shouting at Jin to stop acting recklessly. Jin snarls his teeth but agrees to be considerate for Tao Tao. With this, Jin walks away, and Tao Tao tells Moyu to return tomorrow so she can explain more about the trial. Yi tells Moyu they should go now to buy things and make preparations. Tao Tao acknowledges Jin's grievances and tells him not to let personal feelings affect the trial, while Jin says he just wanted to see what kind of person Moyu is to replace his brother. Tao Tao points out that since Moyu is the national top scorer, it means he must have done something extraordinary. Meanwhile, on the way, Yi tells Moyu not to quarrel with Jin and suggests they go and buy some potions and communication devices. Moyu asks Yi to help with the purchase, and she tells the shopkeeper they need 10 red and blue potions each and 1 communication device. Moyu puts the communication device on his wrist, and blushing, Yi says she can now bother him anytime she wants. With a smile, Yi suggests they should become friends first, and Moyu agrees. Yi walks Moyu to his room, waves goodbye, and says she will see him the next day. Inside his room, Moyu grabs onto the primary skill scroll and mutters, "Use." The scroll opens, and Moyu receives a new skill, Slow Curse, which reduces enemy speed by 50% for 10 minutes. He finds this skill to be amazing. With the new skill, Moyu's skills can now be categorized into summoning, attacking, and curse series. Moyu hopes to learn more powerful skills in the future. The next morning, Yi calls Moyu and tells him to wake up and come downstairs for breakfast. When the team is gathered, Tao Tao tells them not to wander aimlessly after they teleport, while Jin warns Moyu not to slow them down. Tao Tao gives an annoyed look at their quarrel, tells them to settle their conflicts later, and suggests they introduce themselves. This is Miao Yu, level 20, Elf Elder, and this is Duan Gao, level 20, Diviner. Jin lazily introduces himself as level 21 Warlock. Tao Tao introduces herself as a level 23 Elf Knight, and Moyu introduces himself, followed by Yi's introduction. Tao Tao mentions that in this trial, they all need to unite and not blame others or be rude. When all of them are ready, they begin to teleport. They all teleport outside the Divine Xia Tower, which Moyu sees as floating in the sky. The Divine Xia Tower's power begins teleporting them again. They arrive at Mermaid Island. There, Tao Tao instructs the team to touch the mission stone to learn more about their mission. Upon touching the stone, Moyu finds out that their mission is to enter the Mermaid's Tier dungeon, defeat the final boss, and obtain the Mermaid's Tier. The Mermaid's Tier dungeon is located at the center of Mermaid Island. Tao Tao, looking disappointed, says she didn't expect the trial to be on Mermaid Island, and he tells her to share her experiences from previous trials. Tao Tao explains that Mermaid's Tier can be used to craft special equipment and notes that only 3 drops are produced each year. She mentions that there are a total of 10 teams there, and some of them are also teams from other countries. He asks what to do if they run into other countries' teams, and Tao Tao notes that they will guard the dungeon entrance to prevent entry. Tao Tao warns her team not to let their guard down as deaths have occurred before. Moyu assures Tao Tao that they won't encounter such situations. Now ready to enter Mermaid Island, Tao Tao instructs Duan Gao to apply his buffs to the team. With the buff, Moyu sees his attributes have increased by 30% and skill power by 20%, lasting for 1 hour. Moyu then summons a skeleton, wondering if these buffs will apply to it as well. Duan Gao and Miao Yu are both startled seeing the undead, while Yi tells them not to worry. Moyu asks Duan Gao to give his buffs to the skeleton as well, and Duan Gao agrees. But Duan Gao says his skills can't be applied to the skeleton. Seeing the skeleton can't be buffed, Jin gives Moyu and the skeleton a long, dismissive stare. Jin turns to Lin, raises his staff threateningly, and asks if he wants to fight. Tao Tao gets between the two, snapping at Jin to fight later and focus on the trial first. Jin reveals that whenever he finds Lin's summon looking at him, he gets an eerie feeling like he will die. Suddenly, Tao Tao sprints forward, announcing that the trial has begun and instructing everyone to get to the island. Tao Tao reminds the others that their target is the mermaid dungeon and tells them to avoid fighting monsters on the way if they can. A while later, on their way, they reach a stream infested with a monster. Followed by a small ripple on the surface, the massive level 19 monster lunges out of the water, looking down at Tao Tao. The monster then lunges at Tao Tao, swallowing half her body in its mouth. At that moment, jumps behind the monster while a massive fireball hurls toward it from the front. The fireball slams into the monster as he slits its throat from behind. With this monster dead, more begin appearing. Tao Tao informs the others of the approaching level 21 monsters and instructs Miao Yu to handle them while the group charges to the island's center. Miao Yu uses Windbind to summon a massive tornado and tells the team to hurry, assuring them she will take care of the monsters. 20 minutes later, the team encounters more monsters blocking their path. Looking worried, Tao Tao asks if they stand a chance against the monsters, while Miao Yu points out they are all level 22, higher than her level. Tao Tao knows charging straight ahead will get them surrounded, but clearing the path slowly will take at least an hour and make them fall behind significantly. Lin steps ahead and offers to deal with the monsters. Jin smirks and mocks Lin for being level 17, asking what he will do and tells him to keep hiding behind women. Ignoring Jin's comments, Tao Tao asks Lin what he plans to do, and Lin says he will distract the monsters with his skeleton warriors. Tao Tao thinks it might work and, smiling, tells Lin it's all up to him. As Lin instructs the skeleton to charge forward, Tao Tao is surprised to see its fast movements. Once the path is cleared, Tao Tao shouts at her team to hurry forward and they begin sprinting. When they reach far from that place, Lin recalls his skeleton and Tao Tao praises Lin for his actions. Jin asks why Lin didn't use this technique before, claiming they could have reached the mountain by now. Jin then tells Lin it's his summons doing the work and calls him trash. Suddenly Miao Yu spots something and bellows at her team to run. Hundreds of monsters charge at them as if fleeing from something, and Tao Tao shouts for everyone to retreat. Tao Tao points out that the people from the country the Shikigami summoners, are ambushing them. A Shikigami summoner shoots two small figures engulfed in flames forward. Those figures turn into two massive demonic creatures, one resembling a bull and the other a horse. Miao Yu asks why the summoners are doing this, and Tao Tao says it's to stop others from going up the mountain. The Shikigami warrior rides on the demonic beast and laughingly claims the mermaid dungeon belongs to his great country. People from other countries shout that it's despicable for the Shikigami summoner to use such tricks to win. Tao Tao asks Lin if he can use his summons to drive the monsters away, but Lin points out that his summons are useless against the hundreds of monsters. Nevertheless, Lin still sends one summoner forward to drive some of the monsters away, leaving 2/3 of them behind. Lin summons another skeleton and commands it to lure some of the remaining monsters away. Seeing the skeletons drive the monsters away, the people there seem impressed and praise Lin. Lin summons yet another skeleton and seeing it, the people begin thanking Lin for his help. Two guys, pleased with Lin, offer to take him on the next dungeon raid, while Jin looks annoyed at seeing Lin receive the glory. The Shikigami warrior notices the people have caught up and is surprised they made it across such a large number of monsters. So he tells the archer stationed above to get ready to stop those people from advancing. A second later, lots of arrows come flying towards the people. Mages among them quickly summon protection shields to block off the arrows. Yi says that the chase has begun and expresses she isn't worried with Lin and his skeletons around her. After the first round of clashes finishes, the people begin discussing that the situation is dire and they are in need of a powerful mage. Jin tells Tao Tao that he wishes to join the other team. Miao Yu and Duan Gao tell Jin to think over what he is saying as Jin strongly points out that either he or Lin will leave the team. Disappointed, Yi tells Jin that he is really something. Jin is certain that Tao Tao will definitely keep him and kick out Lin. However, Tao Tao tells Jin he can leave the team if he wants. Jin is bewildered when Tao Tao declares that he can leave the team instead of Lin Mo Yu. Jin points out that if he leaves the team, then Tao Tao and the others won't be able to get into the creation seminary. Tao Tao says that won't be the case and reminds Jin she is an 11 knight and can't fulfill his every demand. So Jin turns away and leaves the party, telling Tao Tao she might regret her decision. After Jin is gone, Lin Mo Yu tells Tao Tao they should enter the dungeon now, but Tao Tao seems unsure. He also presses on and requests Tao Tao to enter the dungeon, but Tao Tao asks how they can do that. Miao Yu and Duan Gao also decide to follow Lin Mo Yu into the dungeon. Tao Tao hopes they can retreat if things go bad, but is unable to understand why he trusts Lin Mo Yu so much to follow him blindly. A while later, all of the teams arrive at the dungeon's entrance. The members from Y Country, seeing others there, warn them to get lost, telling them they aren't allowed near the dungeon. However, the other teams decide not to get pushed back down and get ready to fight Y Country if necessary. Smirking, Jin thinks these teams are looking to die messing with Y Country. The Y Country's summoners summon one of their demonic beasts, which lunges at the other teams. Tao Tao raises her shield to defend while Lin Moyu raises his hand and summons his skeletons. In just a second, an army of skeletons appears. Seeing so many skeletons, Tao Tao and Duan Gao are shocked, while Miaoyu notices that the skeletons are blocking all the attacks. The Y Country's summoners are also open-mouthed in shock as they shout, asking how one person can summon that many at once. Seeing Lin Moyu's team about to enter the dungeon, the Y Country's summoners lunge forward to stop them. Lin Moyu chooses the nightmare difficulty, and before the Y Country's summoners can stop him, he disappears into thin air. Having failed to stop Lin Moyu, the Y Country's summoners clench their teeth in fury. Meanwhile, Lin Moyu and his team all get teleported inside the dungeon. Tao Tao looks at Lin Moyu through the corner of her eye in doubt. He assures Tao Tao to relax, saying Lin Moyu's skeletons are powerful, and Tao Tao smiles, promising to do her best to block the monsters. Miaoyu agrees to heal Tao Tao while Duan Gao claims he will give his blessings to the team. At that moment, Miaoyu and Duan Gao receive a shock as they get EXP points out of nowhere. It seems Lin Moyu's skeleton has slain a monster in one shot, providing the EXP to everyone there. Lin Moyu advances with his skeletons to look for more targets, while Tao Tao wonders how they managed to kill the nightmare-level monster in one shot. Grinning, Yi reminds Tao Tao that she did say Lin Moyu's skeletons are powerful and tells the others to hurry along after Lin Moyu. Duan Gao, still in shock, says he is still trying to digest the situation as Tao Tao tells him to just hurry up and follow. The skeletons use the Rage Strike skill and slaughter more monsters. Tao Tao claims that it's the first time she is so relaxed clearing a dungeon as before she would be on the front lines defending her teammates. Duan Gao notes that they are not needed while Miaoyu says there's nothing for them to do. After a while, the team reaches a dead end. Yi notices a monster and tells the team to look below. 100 feet below, the level 23 monster, Merfolk Queen Serpent, with very high attributes even more than Lin Moyu's skeletons, is resting. Tao Tao offers to aggro the monster, but Lin Moyu says there's no need. He commands his skeletons to jump down to engage the monster in a fight. The monster sees the incoming attack and uses the lash skill to dodge the attacks. Tao Tao points out that the monster is too agile and asks what they should do. Lin Moyu assures her not to worry and uses the slow curse skill on the monster. This skill causes the monster's speed to slow down significantly. With its speed slowed down, the skeletons jump onto the monster's body. Tao Tao notes that Lin Moyu has powerful summons and even curse-type skills and wonders what more he can do. The monster uses the Death Strangle and coils its body around a skeleton, crushing it. It then opens its mouth and shoots venom as Lin Moyu points out that his skeletons are undead, so the venom won't affect them much. After an intense battle, the monster's body is a mess, with swords pierced everywhere on its body. Tao Tao is astounded as she realizes the monster has been defeated. Catastrophic Necromancer Chapter 19. Duan Gao is shaken at receiving so much EXP without having done anything. Tao Tao instructs the team to follow Lin Moyu, and points out that the final boss will be the Queen of the Merepeople. As they make their way forward, Yi closes her nose, saying she smells a strong fishy odor. A while later, the team can see a massive palace etched between sharp rocks within the dungeon. Guarding the palace are a large number of Merepeople guards. Tao Tao counts the guards to be 60 in total, all of them enhanced elite monsters. Lin Moyu thinks that the more monsters there are, the better it is. Without waiting any longer, Lin Moyu directs his skeletons at the guards, and Tao Tao warns Lin Moyu to be careful. The elite mare soldiers notice the skeletons coming at them. A fierce battle breaks out between the skeletons and the mare soldiers, with both sides ready to use their skills. Yi gives a concerned look as the other patrols rush to help the mare soldiers, and Lin Moyu raises his hand, telling her to cover her ears. Yi puts both her hands over her ears and closes her eyes. Tao Tao and the others are shocked as they begin receiving a large amount of EXP, wondering what just happened. As more EXP flows in, Tao Tao asks what powerful skill Lin Moyu used to achieve this. Suddenly, the palace door begins opening. Through the door, the Queen of the Merepeople, a boss-level monster, walks out. Yi looks at the Queen in awe and says she is beautiful. Lin Moyu recognizes the Queen is enchanting Yi and grabs onto her hand. Lin Moyu uses the clear-headed skill to block the Queen's enchantment, and Tao Tao is surprised to see he is unaffected by the spell. Snapping back to her senses, Yi asks what happened to her. Miaoyu, shaking with fear, says the Queen enchanted them all and that if Lin Moyu hadn't acted in time, they would have been wiped out. The Queen begins channeling her power around her. Suddenly, her face contorts, her eyes turn red, she summons her trident, and uses the fearsome shriek skill, emitting a high-pitched noise. Tao Tao uses her shield to block the Queen's attack, noting that based on the Queen's attributes, it should take at least an hour to defeat her. Cao Dao also believes, with such high stats, the skeletons will not be able to stand against the queen. She compares this situation to a pack of wolves trying to attack a fierce lion. The queen raises her trident and throws it towards a skeleton. Hit by the trident, a skeleton gets destroyed instantly. Cao Dao instructs Duan Gao to buff them and prepare for battle, and he replies that he understands. However, Lin Moyu says it's not needed as he raises his hand, using the slowing curse. This curse hits the queen, slowing her movements. The queen attacks again and sends massive bellowing waves at the skeletons. The skeletons get caught up in the waves, causing 12 of them to get destroyed at once. Seeing this, Cao Dao begins sweating in fear and tells Lin Moyu to command the skeletons to retreat. However, instead of retreating, Lin Moyu summons all of the remaining 87 skeletons. The army of skeletons then advances toward the queen. Cao Dao and the others are open-mouthed in shock, seeing this many skeletons spawn at once. He admits that Lin Moyu has become stronger, exceeding all her expectations. As the skeletons approach her, the queen gets ready to counterattack. She uses the Tears of the Queen's skill, creating a powerful, swirling blue energy attack that seems to tear through the skeletons with great force. Miao Yu gives a concerned look, saying she can't counter the queen's ability, but Lin Moyu assures her not to worry. Suddenly, the queen begins to bleed from her eyes as the skeleton's consecutive attacks hit her, and she dies just like that. The Tear of the Merpeople appears before Yi, who says the trial is finished and they are one step closer to the Academy of Genesis. Cao Dao agrees, explaining that finishing more trials and increasing their levels will make entry to the Academy of Genesis easier. They all thank Lin Moyu for making this possible. Lin Moyu asks Yi if she has a cooldown talisman, and she confirms that she does. Cao Dao and the others are shocked as they realize Lin Moyu plans to reset the dungeon's cooldown timer to clear it again. Catastrophic Necromancer Chapter 20. As Lin Moyu and his team teleport out of the dungeon, the White Country's team is surprised to see them out in less than an hour. They begin sniggering, believing Lin Moyu's team must have been unable to beat the monsters inside and retreated. The other people there try to console Lin Moyu, telling him it's okay if he couldn't beat the dungeon. Meanwhile, Jin is disappointed that Lin Moyu's team didn't die. Cao Dao raises her shield and tells her team to be careful, while Yi tells her to relax, noting they have Lin Moyu with them. Cao Dao suggests they carry out the plan they discussed earlier, and agreeing to this, Yi takes and decides to return and report this to his country. Lin Moyu stands at the front, with his skeletons standing behind him. The remaining summoners from Y country stare at Lin Moyu's skeletons. One of them turns around in fear, says he won't fight back, and starts running away. Following this man, the others also run after him, not wanting to die. The good guys who weren't against Lin Moyu all laugh, seeing the Y country's team fleeing away. They begin to wonder who Lin Moyu might be, and seeing him single-handedly kill the divine summons, they are very impressed. Only Jin looks pissed and grits his teeth in rage as he regrets leaving Lin Moyu's team earlier. But he tells himself it's not his fault and blames Lin Moyu, deciding to pay him back tenfold. Cao Dao announces that the trial is completed and they will head back. With this, the tower teleports the team back to the academy. Back in a classroom of their academy, Yi is resting on the desk, looking very tired, while Cao Dao thanks Lin Moyu for making the trial easier. Yi tells Cao Dao not to be formal with Lin Moyu, and says that although Lin Moyu doesn't talk much, he's a good person. Cao Dao teases Yi for always speaking up for Lin Moyu. The watch on Lin Moyu's hand gives a beep, and Lin Moyu finds out that Bai has sent him a message asking him to come to the academic affairs office. Lin Moyu goes to the office as asked, and Bai says he watched the trial's recording and praises Lin Moyu for doing well. Bai asks Lin Moyu if he knows what the mermaid's tear is used for, and Lin Moyu says he doesn't. Bai explains that the tear is an item that affects the success rate in awakening an innate talent during their second class transitioning at level 40. Bai says it's good Lin Moyu managed to obtain the mermaid's tears and agrees to grant Lin Moyu any reward he wants. Lin Moyu, who wasn't able to find his sister's info at the administrative office, decides to ask Bai about this. When Lin Moyu asks Bai for help in finding someone, Bai claims he knew Lin Moyu would ask and informs him that his sister joined the Chuangshan Academy at the beginning of the year, with her information being confidential. Hearing the Chuangshan Academy's name, Lin Moyu recalls Jing Tao's dream to attend and remembers that Yi and Shui had encouraged him to join if he had the chance. But Lin Moyu hadn't expected his sister to join the Chuangshan Academy and believes it must have been nearly half a year since she joined. Bai says he's bound by rules not to reveal information about Lin Moyu's sister and points out that Lin Moyu must join the academy to talk to her. Bai then sends Lin Moyu the requirements for joining the Chuangshan Academy. Bai also mentions that since he didn't reveal Lin Moyu's sister's information, Lin Moyu can ask for another reward. Lin Moyu asks for a cooldown amulet. Bai laughs, saying it's expected of Lin Moyu to want the item, but since it's very rare, Lin Moyu has to complete another task to obtain it. Lin Moyu agrees to do the task. Bai says that Lin Moyu has to be level 20 to take the task and suggests he go to the Academy's instance dungeon hall for fast leveling. With this, Bai hands over a teleportation stone to Lin Moyu, which will take him to the instance dungeon hall. Lin Moyu mutters teleport while holding onto the stone, seeing which Bai is surprised to see Lin Moyu want to grind his levels right away. Lin Moyu is transported to the instance hall of Xia Jing Academy and, looking around in awe, sees the place crowded with numerous dungeon entrances along every wall. Catastrophic Necromancer Chapter 22. Lin Moyu sees that he needs to be level 30 or above to enter the Creation Seminary, meaning his sister must have reached that level in just 3 to 4 months after enrolling at Xia Jing Academy. After reaching level 30, one will have to pass the level 30 dungeon in Hell difficulty and also get 1000 contribution points. A girl asks for Lin Moyu's attention from behind. Lin Moyu turns around to find a girl asking him if it's his first time there. She introduces herself as Shuhan and offers to introduce Lin Moyu to the dungeons there. Lin Moyu asks how many points that will cost, and Shuhan says 100 points will be enough. So Lin Moyu transfers her 100 points, and she happily thanks Lin Moyu. Shuhan begins explaining that there are 2 dungeons below level 20, 18 dungeons between levels 20 and 30 dungeons between levels 30 and 40. Shuhan also points out that there are 52 dungeons at levels 40 to 70, plus 2 large dungeons for more than 40 people each, and 1 dungeon for over 100 people. Shuhan adds that each dungeon has its respective clearing records, and setting a new record will result in more rewards. The place Lin Moyu and Shuhan are gathered is the Task and Team Recruitment Center, where one can complete tasks and earn points or recruit teammates. Explaining all this, Shuhan asks Lin Moyu if he has any questions, and Lin Moyu asks how he can get contribution points. Shuhan says that one can earn points by participating in trials organized by the Academy and completing their tasks. Lin Moyu needs 1000 contribution points to enter the Creation Seminary but sees that the highest reward for a task is just 10 points, with most tasks giving only 2 to 3 points. Shuhan claims that earning points is difficult because tasks are quickly completed by others as soon as they are issued. At that moment, Lin Moyu receives 50 contribution points. Hearing Lin Moyu receive so many points at once, the others around him believe he must be joking. Lin Moyu thanks Shuhan for the explanation, and Shuhan asks if he is looking for a party to enter a dungeon. Lin Moyu places his hand on a round crystal, selects the mutated forest dungeon, notes that no one has broken the record in 3 years, and declares he will be the one to do it. He chooses nightmare difficulty for the dungeon as well. Seeing Lin Moyu choose the mutated forest dungeon, the others find out Lin Moyu is someone below level 20. Lin Moyu is teleported to the mutated forest dungeon where he wonders how much EXP he will receive after clearing it. After killing the ordinary monsters, Lin Moyu doesn't get much EXP, so he decides to head straight to the boss to save time. After a while, Lin Moyu arrives at the boss's lair. The boss is a mutated dragon level 19 turtle with very high physique. Lin Moyu sends his skeletons at the boss. As the skeletons lunge at it, the boss activates super defense. Lin Moyu notices that the turtle's shell is tough, so his skeletons aren't doing much damage. He decides to use the Soul Blaze skill to finish off the boss quickly. Hit by the Soul Blaze, the boss gets shot a few feet into the air and then flipped around. The skeletons use the Rake Strike skill to attack the fleshy side of the boss. With this, the boss gets defeated. Lin Moyu notes that he received about 35% EXP altogether and believes he can reach level 18 after one more clear. Meanwhile, in the instance hall, a bell begins to ring, and people realize someone must have set a new record. The info that Lin Moyu solo cleared the mutated forest dungeon in 35 minutes is shown to everyone, and they are all surprised. Once Lin Moyu teleports out of the dungeon, he receives 1,000 points and 5 contribution points as a reward. Lin Moyu gets ready to clear another dungeon, and seeing him do this, the people are very much astonished. Lin Moyu wants to go to the Spider Nest, a level 20 dungeon, but sees its requirements are level 18 to 21, and since he is level 17, he realizes he will have to clear one round of the mutated forest again. Seeing Lin Moyu return back, the people are even more amazed. 30 minutes later, Lin Moyu exits the mutated forest after reaching level 18. To everyone's astonishment, Lin Moyu seems to have set another record by beating the dungeon in 18 minutes. Now everyone begins to wonder who Lin Moyu is and where he came from, and they wonder if he will also break the record of the spider nest. Lin Moyu sees that the record for the spider nest is 1 hour and 12 minutes. He looks forward to beating this record for the contribution points as he selects the nightmare level difficulty. Catastrophic Necromancer Chapter 23. Lin Moyu enters the spider nest and the first thing he notices is that it's very dark. He raises his hand and summons the soul flame to help him see the surroundings. As he looks around, Lin Moyu finds it similar to a maze, and he decides to use the skeletons to find his way around. Analyzing the map traced by the skeletons, he sees that there are countless paths. He looks up at the ceiling and notices a small level 18 spider. Deciding to try his skill, Lin Moyu sets the small spiders ablaze with the Soul Blaze attack. In a single wave, Lin Moyu manages to kill around 100 spiders, receiving 500 EXP for each one killed, and thinks this place would be nice for farming EXP. When Lin Moyu turns around, he sees that one of his skeletons is covered in small spiders, all gnawing at its bones. Lin Moyu tries to make the skeleton return, but it fails, and he is surprised to learn he can't call the skeletons back. So he uses the corpse explosion on his skeleton to burn away the spiders, receiving loads of EXP in return. Realizing this place is perfect for farming EXP, Lin Moyu decides to send all 108 of his skeletons in groups of 10 to avoid being overwhelmed by spiders. A while later, Lin Moyu finally comes face to face with the level 21 Spider King. Lin Moyu points out that the Spider King likes fighting one with many and declares it's his turn now. Meanwhile, back in the instance hall, Shuhan asks if Lin Moyu will be able to solo the spider nest, and a guy notes that it's been 1 hour already, so Lin Moyu won't break the record of 1 hour and 12 minutes. Inside the spider nest, after defeating the Spider King, Lin Moyu's experience increases by 80%, but it has taken 1 hour and 32 minutes, so he decides to return back and beat the record. Shuhan begins to get concerned for Lin Moyu, seeing him not return despite this long. At that very moment, Lin Moyu teleports out of the dungeon, and seeing him, Shuhan gets relieved and asks Lin Moyu if he cleared the dungeon. Lin Moyu tells Shuhan that he cleared the dungeon. Hearing this, Shuhan is surprised because the highest record was set by a group of 5, and Lin Moyu alone nearly beat it. Shuhan also notices Lin Moyu looks carefree, as if clearing the dungeon was a piece of cake for him. Lin Moyu asks Shuhan which dungeon offers the highest experience, and Shuhan replies that the spider nest is the best for experience among dungeons below level 25. Lin Moyu knows the spider nest is best for EXP but costs 40 points to reset its cooldown, as he uses the points to reset it. Lin Moyu asks Shuhan if there are any dungeons with high experience and a fast clear time. After thinking a bit, Shuhan points to a dungeon behind Lin Moyu and suggests he team up with others to go to the Tyrant Desert large dungeon. Shuhan explains that despite being a level 25 dungeon, level 20s can enter it because one can form a team of 40 people. Hearing it's a large dungeon, Lin Moyu wonders if he can solo it. Lin Moyu turns around, thanking Shuhan, and Shuhan realizes Lin Moyu is about to enter the spider nest again. Lin Moyu points out that he wants all the EXP he can get from the spider nest. Meanwhile, in the observation room, Bai and other important people are watching Lin Moyu's trial earlier. Meng Anwen, the old man, expresses surprise at one person solo taking all 3 merfolk tiers, while Hongshan points out the reactions of the white country people. Meng Anwen tries to ask about Lin Moyu's talent, but Bai says he doesn't know how many times Lin Moyu's talent has enhanced. Anwen claims that Lin Moyu is a very good child, and Bai agrees, noting that Lin Moyu's future is very promising. Bai reveals that Anwen still favors Lin Moyu's sister and is positive he might take in Lin Moyu as well. Anwen predicts 2 future stars for humanity, while Hongshan is sure Lin Moyu will become a one-man army capable of facing 1,000. Back in the dungeon, Lin Moyu has cleared the spider nest, gained 70% experience, and hopes he has broken the record this time. Outside in the instance hall, the bell begins ringing once again, and the people realize Lin Moyu must have beaten another record. Jin tells everyone that Lin Moyu is not talented but just lucky, prompting another guy to ask why he says that. Jin gives a thumbs down and says Lin Moyu is an ordinary examinee and he might have gotten some powerful treasures from Bai. Shuhan shouts that Lin Moyu's ordinary background doesn't mean he can't beat records, while another person asks Jin if he has proof to slander Lin Moyu. At that moment, Lin Moyu walks out, and he seems to have set the new record of clearing the dungeon in just 47 minutes. Lin Moyu notices Jin, who tells him to stop pretending and admit that his success is due to God Bai's support. Lin Moyu's anger reaches its limit, and he says he has endured enough from Jin, summoning a skeleton behind him. Scared but trying to act tough, Jin declares he isn't scared of Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu calms down, turns away from Jin, and decides that fighting him would waste time as he aims to reach level 20 today. Catastrophic Necromancer Chapter 24. Lin Moyu enters the spider nest again, certain he will level up after clearing this round. With the Spider King's death, Lin Moyu reaches level 20, and all his stats increase. His summoning skill also levels up, and his skeletons upgrade to silver grade. Lin Moyu summons the upgraded skeleton and realizes it takes 500 spirit to summon one. Analyzing the skeleton, Lin Moyu finds its overall stats equivalent to a dungeon boss with its level increased as well. Lin Moyu then decides to change his equipment, selling off the silver grade equipment to buy some skill scrolls. Exiting the dungeon, Lin Moyu receives admiration from people marveling at him leveling up and setting a new record. Lin Moyu heads to a trader, putting all his equipment on the table and asking the trader to sell them and buy beginner level scrolls. The trader agrees and asks Lin Moyu why he is selling all these items instead of using them. Lin Moyu explains that he needs equipment, but not these silver grade ones, as they are not as good as his talents. The trader mentions they also have good equipment that can be bought with points, and Lin Moyu asks to see them. The trader takes Lin Moyu to a large room full of equipment and tells him to look around while he sells Lin Moyu's silver grade equipment. Lin Moyu inspects a spirit longsword costing 3,000 points and finds out it's part of the spirit set. Lin Moyu agrees that the equipment is good, but the prices are very high, making it unaffordable for new students. Lin Moyu examines some spirit robes and spirit rings, finding that using these sets can increase spirit by 800, but he doesn't find it that good. At that moment, Lin Moyu hears some men talking about a broken weapon costing 50,000 points nearby. Lin Moyu is surprised to hear it's that expensive and thinks only a handful of people in the academy might be able to afford it. The weapon is the Donatus sickle, part of the Death Spirit set. Lin Moyu learns that the sickle can summon a hero general, and he notes that his skeletons need a new leader. He grabs the sickle and points out that, despite lacking attributes and seeming useless, it can absorb abyss demon souls for upgrading. Lin Moyu decides to buy the Donatus sickle. Lin Moyu tells the trader he wants the sickle, prompting the trader to ask if he is sure, as it's expensive. When the trader inserts the card into the machine, he is shocked to see Lin Moyu has 130,000 total points. As Lin Moyu walks away with the sickle, the trader claims he never imagined someone would buy it, as it had been in the center for way too long. Lin Moyu returns to his room, drops all the scrolls on the table, hoping to get at least some new skills from them, and begins opening them. The first skill he receives is Skeleton Armor, which provides armor to skeletons, and Lin Moyu thinks it's a good skill as it can also protect him. Lin Moyu raises his hand and produces swirling blue energy around him. The energy transforms into a skeleton-like spinal cord of a monster. Lin Moyu reaches out to grab another scroll and opens it. He then raises his hand and summons a dark iron-grade skeleton mage, whose spirit is very high, just like his. Lin Moyu notes that now his skeletons can attack from a distance as well. The next morning, Lin Moyu wakes up to find all his spirit fully recovered and decides to ask God Bai for the task. Lin Moyu goes to Bai and tells him he is level 20 and asks about the task. Bai is shocked that Lin Moyu has reached level 20 in just one day, believing Lin Moyu's speed is faster than his own. Bai tells Lin Moyu that the task is simple. Lin Moyu needs to help him get something. Bai explains that there is a large dungeon called Tyrant Desert in the dungeon hall, and Lin Moyu's task is to retrieve the tyrant heart from inside. Bai promises to help Lin Moyu get a beginner cooldown talisman if he successfully brings back the tyrant heart within 3 days. Bai points out that the cooldown of some top-level dungeons can even reach a month, so the cooldown talisman is useful. Bai also promises to teach Lin Moyu how to upgrade a beginner cooldown talisman to an advanced one if he completes the task. Lin Moyu promises to bring the tyrant heart as Bai explains he is giving him 3 days due to the school's opening ceremony. Once Lin Moyu leaves, Anwen peers through a door and asks Bai if he is satisfied with Lin Moyu. Bai responds that he is more than satisfied. Anwen believes Lin Moyu's personality will lead him to solo the dungeon and reminds Bai of when he entered the dungeon at level 30 and returned empty-handed. Seeing Lin Moyu about to enter the Tyrant Desert, the others wonder if he'll break this dungeon's record too. Lin Moyu notices that a party of 40 from Filong Academy holds the Tyrant Desert record at 16 hours and 45 minutes. Shuhan calls out as he approaches Lin Moyu. Looking uncertain, she asks Lin Moyu if he will really enter the Tyrant Desert. Lin Moyu confirms he is going to the Tyrant Desert to retrieve the Tyrant's heart. Shuhan explains that the Tyrant's heart, dropped once a year, can be used to make a powerful boss accessory. Shuhan points out that challenging the Tyrant Desert alone will be difficult and asks Lin Moyu where his party members are. But she is shocked as she realizes Lin Moyu plans to solo the desert. Shuhan tries to tell Lin Moyu something, but she becomes silent as she senses someone behind her. Startled, Shuhan steps aside and says these people are from Bailey Academy and have been preparing to set a new record for the Tyrant Desert for a long time. They are also equipped with gold-grade equipment. The party leader declares that this time, Bailey Academy will surely set a new record. The leader instructs his team to get ready and not back down. Meanwhile, Lin Moyu makes his way toward the Tyrant Desert's entrance, shocking everyone there. The team leader glances at Lin Moyu, asking if he really plans to clear the Tyrant Desert alone, which is a large dungeon. The leader thinks Lin Moyu is being suicidal and tells his team to get ready to teleport. Arriving in the Tyrant Desert dungeon, Lin Moyu notices the sun overhead, making navigation difficult, and understands why the record time to clear is 16 hours. So he sends his skeletons in every direction to map the place himself. Lin Moyu notes that entering the dungeon costs 5,000 points, refreshing the cooldown costs 2,000 points, and he only has 8,000 points. Suddenly, Lin Moyu notices a monster labeled on the map. The monster is a strong elite with level 25, and all its attributes are as impressive as expected for a large dungeon. Lin Moyu believes this dungeon's ordinary monster could challenge the level 24 merfolk leader and is relieved his skeletons are silver grade. The skeletons defeat the level 25 monster for 300,000 EXP, and Lin Moyu calls the dungeon an EXP treasure land. Lin Moyu summons the skeleton armor to cover his body to be safe from any hidden danger. He and his skeletons advance and, after 2 hours, find an oasis. Lin Moyu suspects there might be many monsters gathered at the oasis. When the skeletons go near the oasis, a level 25 large scorpion suddenly charges at them. The skeleton uses the Rage Strike spell and kills the scorpion with a single attack. Lin Moyu notices some fruits hanging off the large trees and wonders if they are consumable. So he sends a skeleton to go and fetch those fruits for him. A skeleton brings back a fruit, and Lin Moyu wonders what kind of effect it might have. Analyzing the fruit, Lin Moyu realizes it can recover spirit if consumed. When Lin Moyu takes a bite of the fruit, and his spirit recovers quickly. As many scorpions charge at the skeletons, Lin Moyu thinks the oasis will provide an unlimited supply of spirit due to the abundance of fruits. Grinning, he summons skeleton mages, deciding this place will be best to practice and level up his skills. Earlier, Lin Moyu was worried about how he could level up his skeleton mages but isn't anymore. With endless spirit refills, Lin Moyu can continuously summon skeleton mages and level them to 20 to become silver grade. With this, Lin Moyu continues the grind. 3 hours later, Lin Moyu is relieved when the skeleton mage finally reaches level 20. He summons the leveled up skeleton mages and analyzes their attributes. Lin Moyu has 3 different skilled skeleton mages, fire type, thunder type, and wind type. Lin Moyu notes that the scorpions enjoyed killing his skeletons earlier and declares it's their turn to die now. The skeleton mages are ready to start their slaughter. The skeleton mages shoot their respective skills at the scorpions. The scorpions get zapped, burnt, and turned to a crisp at the same time. Holding a fruit and smirking, Moyu says this is how a large dungeon should be as an army of scorpions advances toward him. Seeing the scorpion army, Moyu responds by summoning 130 skeleton warriors and 70 skeleton mages. Moyu believes that as long as the monsters are the same grade, he can easily clear any large dungeon alone. The skeletons begin charging at the incoming scorpions. Moyu also joins the battle using corpse explosion. Amidst the massive explosions, heavy lightning strikes down upon the scorpions. Moyu receives lots of EXP as more and more scorpions get killed. Soon, all the scorpions are defeated, and Moyu is disappointed he didn't get to level up his other skills. He then decides to look for the dungeon boss now as his skeletons are already leveled up to silver grade. Suddenly Moyu senses something behind him. He quickly summons the skeleton armor upon seeing a monster horde coming at him. Moyu leaps off the ground and does a backflip as the level 26 desert soldier ants pass below him. Landing, Moyu wonders where the ants are headed, so he decides to follow the ants. Sometime later, Moyu arrives at what he thinks is the soldier ant's nest. There he notices flying ants, recognizing them as the queen ant's personal troops, and wonders if the boss is the queen ant. The flying ant attacks Moyu, hitting his skeleton armor very hard. Moyu calls the flying ant a bully as he raises his hand and summons his skeletons. A skeleton mage produces a tornado which catches the flying ant and crushes it. Now, the whole army of flying ants comes flying at Moyu and his skeletons. Moyu summons all his skeletons, which start killing the flying ants and providing him with more EXP. Moyu commands the skeleton warriors to look for the queen ant, saying he and the mages will handle the flying ants. The mages rain down destructive spells upon the ants, killing them instantly. Some moments later, Moyu notices the skeletons have located the ant queen and decides to head over there. Arriving where the ant queen is, Moyu sees that she is level 29 while her personal ant army is level 27. Disappointed by the queen's weakness, Moyu says it's boring and directs his skeletons to charge. The ant queen uses the storm strike spell, sending a powerful attack at Moyu. Moyu shields his face as the sand begins whirling around him, thankful he has the skeleton armor to protect his body. Moyu then commands the mages to stall the queen's army and the warriors to go for the kill. The mages start burning the queen's army with fire and lightning while the warriors lunge at the queen. Moyu receives lots of EXP as the guards begin dying. The queen uses the sonic wave attack and burns the skeleton warriors to a crisp as they approach her. The queen uses the curl spell to defend herself and summon ants, sending shockwaves around her. Seeing the queen using a defensive skill, Moyu says it's a waste of his time. Suddenly, Moyu turns around to see an army of ants charging at him. Smirking, Moyu raises his hand to use the corpse explosion skill. A mighty explosion occurs around the queen, sending massive waves of sand flying all around. With this, the queen dies, providing Moyu 800,000 EXP and other items. Moyu examines the desert queen ant egg, which he hopes to sell for a lot of gold coins. He notes his experience has increased to 78% and thinks it's a good place to farm EXP, but decides to search for the tyrant's heart instead. 2 hours later, after moving a long distance and battling various monsters on the way, Moyu arrives at a massive palace. The palace is ruled by the lion tyrant, a world-level leader. Looking over at the palace, Moyu thinks he is at the right place. On the walls, Moyu notices level 29 archer guards with higher attributes than the ants. The level 28 lion warriors notice Moyu and begin advancing toward him in formation. Moyu brings out the sickle and summons the hero general. The hero general appears out of the ground with a skill of military influence. Moyu then summons the skeleton warriors. Doing so, Moyu orders the hero general to follow his will, lead his soldiers, and defeat the enemy. The hero general uses its influence and makes the skeleton warriors get into a fighting formation. The archer on the wall gives a loud roar, and 100 arrows come flying toward the skeletons. The skeleton mages shoot their spells at the oncoming arrows to counter them. The mages' spells hit the arrows and nullify them. The spells then rain down upon the archers, causing a small outburst and sending sand and dust everywhere. Moyu is grateful for his skeletons as they and the lion warriors stand ready to clash. The skeleton warriors use Rage Strike and begin attacking the lion warriors. Moyu instructs half the mages to concentrate on destroying the wall. A while later, Moyu is surprised to see the gate still hasn't taken any damage despite all the attacks on it. Moyu realizes that, being a large dungeon, the party must work together to find ways to open the gate and reach the final boss. He claims the gate isn't opening due to insufficient firepower and commands the skeletons to stack dead bodies at the gate. The skeletons gather dozens of corpses at the gate, and Moyu raises his hand to use the corpse explosion spell. A massive explosion causes the gate to be blown apart into rubble. Moyu, holding the sickle and with the hero general standing behind him, looks over at the ruler of the castle. The ruler, who is level 31, Lion Tyrant, looks back at Moyu with glowing eyes. Moyu realizes that the final boss is on a whole different level from other bosses. The final boss stands up, towering over Moyu. The boss lunges high and pounces down upon the skeleton warriors, destroying 2 of them easily. Moyu shouts out to the other skeletons to stop the boss. The skeleton mages shoot lightning down upon the boss. More spells shot by the mages fly toward the boss, but upon hitting they do not cause much damage. The boss uses the revolving storm spell, performing a powerful spinning attack, sending the skeletons flying in every direction. 24 of the skeletons die instantly from the attack, and Moyu exclaims that the boss's attack is too strong. Moyu raises his hand at the boss and uses the slowing spell on it. The boss opens its mouth and gives a powerful roar, which kills 14 more skeletons. The roar pushes Moyu backward, slamming him into a wall and also destroying his skeleton armor. Despite the slow spell on it, the boss leaps toward Moyu, raising 2 massive axes in its hands. Moyu reacts swiftly, raising his hand and using Soul Blaze on the boss. Moyu's attack knocks the boss to the ground, and he instructs all the skeletons to attack. The skeleton mages raise their staffs and send spells at the boss. However, the boss gets on its feet and kills 4 more skeletons with a swing of its axe. Moyu attacks the boss with Soul Blaze, and says he would have died if his skeleton mages weren't silver grade. The battle goes on for 20 more minutes, and finally, the boss falls, receiving consecutive spell attacks from the mages. As the boss dies, Moyu says he approves of it, receiving 2 million EXP and other items as a reward. With the EXP from killing the tyrant lion, Moyu levels up. He claims he forgot he was level 20 before and now he's leveled to 21. Moyu notices his skeleton mages have leveled up too and wonders if they will continue to level up with him as he fully masters his skills in the future. So he decides to quickly level up his skills, knowing it will get tougher at higher levels, and plans to fight the lion tyrant again. In the instance hall, people are surprised when the bell rings 6 times, signaling a new record has been set in a large dungeon. Bai Lixing from Bailey Academy thinks his team must have set the record, while someone else suggests it might be Moyu. Lixing questions who Moyu is, which academy he is from, and says how dare Moyu compete with Bailey Academy. The man begins explaining who Moyu is. Lixing howls with laughter hearing Moyu went in alone and says the dungeon is set for 40 people. Someone else mentions that even if Moyu is alone, he has already set a new record for 2 dungeons before. Lixing dismisses it, saying records in low-level dungeons are trivial and that clearing the large dungeon won't be easy for level 20 Moyu. At that moment, the announcement that the tyrant's heart has spawned grabs everyone's attention and leaves them in shock. Lixing smiles, saying his academy not only set a new record but also got the tyrant's heart. A new record announcement reveals Moyu cleared the Tyrant Desert in 14 hours and 11 minutes. The people from Bailey Academy, along with Lixing, are open-mouthed in shock seeing this. That very moment, Moyu teleports out of the dungeon and everyone turns to look at him in admiration. Lixing clenches his teeth angrily at Moyu, who looks confused. But Moyu ignores Lixing and walks away, declaring he is busy. The people begin laughing, saying Bailey Academy got embarrassed by a single person, blaming Bailey for being too cocky at first. People discuss how Moyu leveled up to 21 during the dungeon, having entered at level 20, and are even more impressed by his achievement. Bai, while in his room, receives a call from Moyu. Moyu informs Bai he has obtained the tyrant's heart. Bai, looking sleepy, mishears Moyu and says he will help Moyu find a team if he isn't able to. But a second later, Bai, looking shocked, asks Moyu what he just said, and Moyu repeats that he has obtained the tyrant's heart. Bai is speechless as he remembers he had just given Moyu that task hours ago. Bai asks Moyu where he is, and Moyu replies that he's at the entrance of the dormitory. Moyu receives a notification that he has set a new record for the Tyrant Desert, earning 5,000 points and 30 contribution score. Suddenly Moyu gets startled as he senses a disturbance in the surrounding. Bai teleports behind Moyu and tells him the old man sitting at the table ahead is Meng. Moyu bows down and greets Meng, who tells Moyu to take a seat. Once they are seated, Bai asks Moyu to take out the tyrant's heart. Moyu pulls out the heart from his pocket, and Meng confirms it's the true tyrant's heart, while Bai asks Moyu if he soloed the dungeon. Moyu confirms he soloed it and took 14 hours to clear it when Bai asks about the time. Both Meng and Bai look at each other, visibly shocked. Meng then reminds Bai to keep his word. Bai hands over Moyu the cooldown talisman as promised, and he asks if Moyu is in a rush to enter the creation seminary, which Moyu confirms, noting he needs a lot of contribution scores to do so. Moyu asks if he can use the cooldown talisman at the Yuan battlefield, and Bai confirms, then asks about Moyu's progress with the tasks. Moyu admits he's having no problems. Bai then tells Moyu to go and rest and Moyu thanks Bai. Once Moyu leaves, Meng asks if it's too early for Moyu to go to the creation seminary, but Bai assures Meng that Moyu is strong enough. Meng then points out that Bai didn't tell Moyu about the humanity's greatest enemy being at the creation seminary. Moyu gets into bed, deciding to rest well and head to the Tyrant Desert the next day to level up his skills. Meanwhile, back at Instance Hall, the team from Bailey Academy returns from the dungeon. The people gathered there begin sniggering, seeing the happy looks on the Bailey Academy's people. The Bailey team cheers, claiming they cleared the dungeon in 15 hours and set a new record. The people break into giggles, seeing the Bailey team's confidence. One of the members from the Bailey team points out that they still haven't received the Tyrant's heart. The team leader looks at the notice board and gets bewildered as he sees Lin Moyu's new record. He then realizes it's the same level 21 person they saw enter the dungeon alone earlier. And he bellows in anger, exclaiming it's impossible for a level 21 person to clear the dungeon so quickly. The people begin whispering and mocking Bailey Academy for being beaten by a single person as the team turns to leave. The next morning, Lin Moyu wakes up and notices his spirit is fully healed. A while later, he goes to the Instance Hall, hoping to find the Oasis fruits in the Tyrant Dungeon and max out his slow curse and skeleton armor. A guy approaches Lin Moyu and asks if he is Lin Moyu. The guy informs Lin Moyu that the headmaster of Bailey Academy wants to meet him and tells him to follow. But Lin Moyu ignores the guy and continues on his way, which angers him. Bai turns his head and tells the guy to tell the headmaster to come to him if he wishes to meet. Lin Moyu then goes to the Tyrant Desert's entrance and finds out resetting and entering it again will cost him 2,500 points. The people there all notice Lin Moyu and wonder if he is planning to enter the same dungeon again. Some of the guys request Shuhan to ask Lin Moyu to take them along and agree to pay points for it. Seeing them all request so sincerely, Shuhan agrees to help them. Meanwhile, the guy who asked Lin Moyu to meet the headmaster reports to Bai Lixing that Lin Moyu refused to follow him. Lixing says Lin Moyu might think he's special for clearing the Tyrant Desert and decides to teach him a lesson if they meet again. Shuhan, with hands joined, requests Lin Moyu to take the others along, saying they just want to complete the academy's task. Lin Moyu asks about the task, and a guy explains they need to clear the Tyrant Desert to enter an academy and promise not to take any EXP if Lin Moyu helps them. Lin Moyu points out that he is a new student, so he didn't know about this. Those guys again request Lin Moyu to take them along and promise to pay him 1,000 points each. In the end, Lin Moyu agrees to take on one request. The request is that if anyone finds the Oasis fruits, they will be Lin Moyu's only. The guys agree to give Lin Moyu the fruits if they find any. Lin Moyu then says that he can only take 39 people and asks who will be going. Almost everyone in the hall raises their arms, all wanting to go. Shuhan shouts at the people to be quiet and queue up nicely. Lin Moyu thanks Shuhan for her assistance, and she says it's nothing. Lin Moyu asks Shuhan if she has completed her task, and she affirms it, telling him not to worry about her. After a while, Lin Moyu enters the Tyrant Desert dungeon with 39 others and tells them to follow him. Lin Moyu summons the skeleton warriors and instructs them to go and find the Oasis fruit. Seeing the skeletons, the people there are all in awe and praise Lin Moyu's profession. When the skeletons one-shot level 25 desert ghost trees, the people get even more surprised at the skeleton's strength. Lin Moyu notices the EXP is too low with 39 people and decides he'll need to solo clear the dungeon a few more times later. Lin Moyu summons all of his skeleton warriors and mages when he comes across an army of scorpions. He looks at the trees and sees no fruits hanging there and considers he got lucky the last time. So, Lin Moyu decides to kill the boss quickly and enter the dungeon again. And he raises his hand to use the corpse explosion and speed things up. As many monsters die, the people there get a lot of EXP and exclaim with surprise how strong Lin Moyu's skill is. Lin Moyu turns to the people and tells them to wait there while he goes and clears the ant nest, and they all agree to it. The others, shocked, note that it's been only 4 hours and Lin Moyu has already progressed this far. About 20 minutes later, a guy suggests they try to defeat a monster, assuming they must be weak since Lin Moyu handles them easily. Another guy thinks they should try, confident they can at least kill one monster as professionals. 2 minutes later, those guys realize they accidentally lured in 2 monsters and begin preparing to battle. Form up with knights at the front with shields and mages at the back as the scorpions charge. A scorpion strikes a knight's shield with great force. The knight gets pushed back, and another guy calls for support to heal the injured knight. Things start to go wrong, and people begin to worry, their faces filled with fear. The physique of the scorpions is really high, so it isn't taking enough damage. Someone's attack explodes on the scorpion's head as the fighters and knights lunge in for a melee attack. 5 minutes later, the scorpion finally dies, granting EXP to everyone, who look exhausted and are resting. At the ant nest, Moyu receives the EXP and realizes those guys killed a scorpion, noting they can't stay idle. The knight bellows out to others to stop resting and reminds them there's another scorpion to defeat as well. Some of them complain that they are too tired to fight and hope they should have listened to Moyu and stayed still. The scorpion comes charging at those people. Out of nowhere, Moyu's skeleton lunges at the scorpion and cuts it in half with a single strike. Seeing the scorpion get one shot, the people there are shocked and realize how powerful a skeleton is. A girl begins crying, grateful that Moyu left one skeleton behind to protect them. At that moment, Moyu seems to have killed all the level 26 desert ants, giving everyone a burst of EXP, and they exclaim in surprise. They believe Moyu must have reached the Ant Queen, claiming she is very strong, can heal herself, and is nearly impossible to kill if not damaged enough. Moyu is standing before the Ant Queen, with his hand raised as he uses the corpse explosion. People back at the oasis are open-mouthed in shock as they receive EXP after the Ant Queen's death, exclaiming it's too fast. A while later, Moyu returns and tells the people they will now be heading to the tyrant's castle. Arriving at the castle, they see thousands of monsters and think Moyu could reach level 30 in half a month if he continues solo clearing the dungeon. As before, the skeletons stack the monsters' corpses at the gate, and Moyu uses corpse explosion to blow it apart. Seeing such tactics to attack the castle, the people are all astonished. The lion tyrant sends powerful shockwaves, and people, getting frightened, decide to back off a little. Moyu looks up at the lion tyrant and claims he is in a hurry. People watch from afar as Moyu's skeletons charge at the lion and feel like Moyu is fighting a normal monster, not a world-level boss. Within a short time, Moyu defeats the lion tyrant, providing 50,000 EXP to all. All the people begin crying with joy as they have now finally cleared the dungeon. They all thank Moyu with cheerful faces while they begin teleporting out of the dungeon. Once Moyu exits the dungeon, the sycophant informs Bai Lixing, who then orders him to follow Moyu and find out how he cleared the dungeon alone. Moyu sees another line of people, and Shuhan explains they're there to get help from Moyu in clearing the dungeon as well. Moyu asks if the new group knows his rules, and they all affirm and promise not to take any loot. Moyu and the new 39 people enter the dungeon again, with Moyu hoping to find the oasis fruits this time. To his luck, Moyu notices many fruits at the oasis and decides to level the rest of his skills now. Moyu's skeletons begin killing the scorpions, and, seeing his strength, this group, like the previous one, becomes surprised and impressed. After a while, the group faces the lion tyrant and is shocked to realize it took them only 7 hours to reach the stage. Moyu kills the lion easily, and everyone cheers except for Bai Lixing's sycophant, who finds Moyu terrifying and decides to report this to Bai Lixing. Once out of the dungeon, the sycophant tells Bai Lixing everything he learned about Moyu. Bai Lixing smirks and points out that since Moyu relies on his skeletons, if they can restrict him from summoning them, Moyu will become useless. Bai Lixing then instructs his sycophant to find Lingjun from Qiaolong Academy and tell him he has something for him. Bai Lixing plans to make Moyu pay for snatching the boss accessory from Bailey Academy and embarrass him. Sometime later, Jin comes to meet Bai Lixing. At the Xiajing Academy dormitory, Xia Shui is looking out of the window, busy with her thoughts. She says it's a shame that amazing things in Xiajing Academy cost points and envies Moyu's 30,000 points. She had heard from Principal Lu that Moyu reached the academy a few days ago and wonders how he's doing now. But she is certain that with his strength, Moyu won't have any trouble with anything. Next day, Bai and 2 others are gathered at a table as one of them mentions Lin Moyu is acting overboard. Puzzled, Bai asks how Lin Moyu, with his calm personality, can be acting overboard. Ning Tairan, the dean of Xiajing Academy, points out that Lin Moyu is collecting money to help other students clear the Tyrant Desert. Tairan adds that Lin Moyu is carrying 39 people by himself and helping them. Bai grins and remarks that Lin Moyu is pretty good for helping so many people. Tairan notes that Lin Moyu helping others defeats the task's purpose of filtering outstanding students from the weak ones. Bai responds that there's nothing they can do since Lin Moyu hasn't broken any rules by doing this. Bai claims he's against these tasks as they unfairly disadvantage those who can't find a good party and get stuck with them. Ming agrees that the academy system is too old-fashioned and needs some changes. Tairan stands up angrily, and Bai, grinning, warns him that touching Lin Moyu will cost him the dungeon palace. As Tairan walks away, Ming remarks his temper won't change, while Bai claims only one person can handle him. At the Tyrant Desert's oasis, Lin Moyu levels up his skeleton armor to 21, boosting his defense by 2,100. Lin Moyu's slow curse has also leveled up to 21 as he raises his hand to use this spell upon the oncoming scorpion. 1 hour before the opening ceremony. At the breakfast hall, Xia Shui is surprised to learn Wan Ming is her roommate, claiming she chose a dual room due to limited points. Shui offers to settle the payment for their meals as Ming notices Feng Xiu a bit ahead. Feng Xiu also notices Xia Shui and Ming as he turns his head. He goes near them and greets them with a smile. Ming asks if they have seen Lin Moyu. In the Tyrant Desert, Lin Moyu levels up to 22 and realizes his skills will all level up simultaneously with him once they reach max level. Lin Moyu exits the dungeon with 350,000 points from helping others, but thinks it's insufficient since one intermediate scroll costs 80,000. He decides to find a new way to earn more points and attend the opening ceremony in the meantime. At the opening ceremony, Ming, Feng Xiu, and Xia Shui are gathered, and Feng Xiu announces Lin Moyu's arrival. Lin Moyu slowly walks towards the opening ceremony. The three of them instantly notice the powerful aura around Lin Moyu and realize Lin Moyu has become a lot stronger. Other students also notice Lin Moyu and exclaim that he's the top scorer in the country, with some saying they're scared to look at him. Xia Shui calls out to Lin Moyu, asking him to come over, and he looks pleased seeing them gathered. One Ming asks Lin Moyu what his level is. Hearing Lin Moyu is level 22, all three are stunned and ask how he leveled up so quickly. Feng Xiu suggests Lin Moyu repeatedly cleared a dungeon, while Xia Shui notes that earning points is difficult for normal students. But Lin Moyu, who earned thousands of points at a time by helping many people, thinks earning points isn't hard. The huge bell begins ringing, and the opening ceremony commences with the speaker welcoming the students to Xiajing Academy. The speaker explains that the academy is divided into ordinary, academic, and top students, each enjoying different resources and benefits. The speaker says that Xiajing Academy follows a tradition during the opening ceremony involving challenges between freshmen and seniors. Seniors can challenge new students, putting their points on the line. If freshmen win, they keep the points but lose nothing if they are defeated. The speaker mentions that this is a perfect time for the freshmen to earn some points. By hovering above and looking down with the two old men, says this method suppresses new students, showing them the depth and severity, and calls it pointless. Bai wonders if anyone will challenge Lin Moyu, while Meng says no one would be foolish enough to try. Meanwhile, the freshmen are interested in the challenge, knowing there's no penalty for losing but rewards for winning. The seniors and freshmen engage in a tense stare-down. The speaker assures students the challenge will be on a professional martial arts platform, suppressing levels and skills above 20, with formations protecting contestants from fatal injuries. A senior archer challenges a freshman archer. The freshman accepts the senior's challenge. Someone declares they challenge Lin Moyu. Grinning, Jin asks Lin Moyu if he will accept the challenge. Lin Moyu stares at Jin and asks how many points he will pay. Jin offers 5,000, but Lin Moyu says it's too little. Jin asks Lin Moyu how many points he wants, and Lin Moyu demands 100,000 points. Hearing Lin Moyu demand 100,000 points, the students are all shocked. Jin mocks Lin Moyu for demanding such a huge amount, asking if he even knows how many zeros are in 100,000. Lin Moyu proposes a bet. If he loses, he will give all his points to Jin. If he wins, Jin must pay an amount equal to Lin Moyu's total points. Lin Moyu then asks Jin if he has the guts to accept. Xia Shui is surprised by Lin Moyu's extensive speech and assumes he and Jin must have a long-standing feud. Jin begins to worry seeing Lin Moyu this confident, but knows he will lose face if he rejects. Trying to sound confident, Jin accepts Lin Moyu's conditions, hoping Lin Moyu doesn't have many points. Bai comments that Jin will die the fastest during the battle, while Ming believes Lin Moyu must have at least 300,000 points. Lin Moyu and Jin get onto the platform, facing each other and ready to spar. Some of the students recognize Lin Moyu as the one who set back-to-back records in the dungeons and look forward to the interesting match. Jin claims that it's all just talk about Lin Moyu being the top scorer and calls him a pile of trash. Lin Moyu tells Jin that his level is lower than his. Ignoring Lin Moyu, Jin claims that he has had excellent qualifications since young and trained well, unlike Lin Moyu, who is an ordinary person. Lin Moyu repeats that Jin's level is lower than his. Jin bellows out that it doesn't matter if Lin Moyu's profession is strong, on the battlefield, experience is more important. Once again, Lin Moyu reminds Jin his level is lower. This time, Jin gets enraged and curses Lin Moyu, charging at him while speaking ill of his parents. Lin Moyu stands still, remembering his sister and grandmother. A look of terror fills Jin's face as he notices Lin Moyu's intense gaze, feeling intimidated. Jin halts his charge and points out that Lin Moyu only has summoning and corpse